Disclaimer, if you're here to get fake DPS on your tooltip as high as possible, this is not the video for you. This is built with only useful and real damage, not faking your tooltip to go as high as possible with cast speed. And what do I mean by that? I simply mean by that we don't need that much cast speed on the gear, since we have Arcane Surge effect increase per every 15 mana we have. So with 9.2k mana we already get insane amount of cast speed. With Arcane Tempo, on this particular node, Sudden Escalation, we have over 3.1 cast speed, which lets us cast and move freely. Any cast speed above that is irrelevant. Just look at this, 3% cast speed gives me nearly 40k DPS increase. It's crazy, you will never be able to feel something like 3% cast speed in this amounts of DPS. It just fakes your tooltip so you can feel good, but you will not do good. And mind you, my mana is on 9.2k without Dream Fragments or without the Mahawk Soul Shield. I'm at over 1 million DPS with very optimal setup that gives us a lot of cast speed. My average damage per use is on 360k. Without buffs, I can push it way further beyond 1 million, and my gear isn't even perfect. When you look on the wands and you think of like you can get 150 plus mana, 120 each lightning and spell damage, 99, I think it's up to 109 crit hit chance, not to speak of the low intelligence roll as well. Look on my focus, same case, 120 lightning and spell damage each. And this is just nothing compared to like the top pick focuses that I just cannot afford, like most people, because my first guide was about budget. And everything I done so far by playing so much is still mainly on the budget side. My most expensive piece of gear is literally the jewel with +3 to spark skills that I very recently bought. I might not have the fanciest DPS looking with like 3 or more millions just standing here, but if you calculate everything I get the moment I start doing any kind of damage, you realize how much more damage I have than any other spec. Cause all of my caps are checked. I have 100% shock debuff, which gives my lightning conduit 2000% damage increase, which is the max. So you can just think how much you need the cast speed. Do you want to tickle the pickle of the monsters, or do you want to destroy them? Up to you. Oh, I'm gonna cast faster, so the spark gonna pierce. I'm gonna have a lot of projectile speed, so the projectile will hit the boss 50 billion times and the boss will die. I don't fucking care about all this bullshit people say. I cast once, the boss is dead. If I cast more and the boss is alive, for me the build sucks, yeah? Let's have it clear. I cast once on the mobs and they all flop on the screen. That's my build. But don't take this stuff too serious, I'm not hating on other builds, this is just how I love my build to be played. Full out damage, no cast speed that tickles the pickles. I want one hit, everything dead. So we basically just go for full out biggest damage. And the easy way to understand it is just cast speed. Look at Arcane Tempo, 25 more cast speed, look how much DPS it does. But it does not change average damage per use, it does not change any damage dealt. It just makes you cast it faster. So it scales it very high. So if you see people with 6 mil, 10 mil, 15 mil DPS on Spark, they do no damage with it. They have like 200k average, unless their gear is like 50 mirrors, of course. Well, yeah. Then maybe when they have the 30 mil, maybe then they have the same average. But then again, if you would make the build on my ways and you had 15 mirrors for the build, your average would be probably on 2 mil, which is crazy because the DPS being on 2 mil is already crazy, but the average being on 2 mil is even crazier. And I checked it in Path of Building and that's around where we land if we have like unlimited access to items. And since I'm already talking about items, let's go over the gear. Just one heads up, I'm gonna include one new addition to the build, which will be, to be fair, like, depends if you're gonna enjoy the minus of it for the plus of it, but for me, the new addition actually feels amazing. But I will point it in the timeline, so if you wanna skip to it, just check the timeline. And in short, I will just show you what you want on an item, but of course it's whole different story what you can get on an item. So for the wand it goes +5 to level of all lightning spell skills being the most important, and then we need 120 roll lightning and 120 spell damage roll, the highest possible mana roll, and that's pretty much the best options on the prefixes: extra lightning /fire/cold, all irrelevant. Then we want 100% crit hit chance, of course, and 30% plus critical spell damage would be perfect. Or cast speed. Cast speed is not that bad. If you get 30% cast speed with all the previous stuff, bro, you're already crazy good. But what you do, not equip it, put it in your stash and sell it, because cast speed gear is for some reason through the roof. So this is also why I didn't ever make anything with cast speed, because fuck overpaying for it, I just rather sell it and buy 3 other pieces for it. But don't worry, you're gonna see every single piece of item I have, and then I'm gonna do a breach map and a boss for you, so you can see clearly how little the cast speed is needed. Don't get it wrong though, because it is needed, but as a Stormweaver, we get a lot of cast speed provided to us for free. It's just really pointless for you to cast 7 times per second. It's just pointless. You need to cast once per screen of enemies. And that's my logic on it. And for the focus it goes the same story as for the wand. We want 120 lightning, 120 spell, mana, +2 of all spell skills mandatory, crit hit chance 100, and intelligence or critical damage. This is like the second best thing, and then goes the cast speed, just because, well, influencing that tooltip is probably the best option if we can't get int or crit damage. And for the belt, there is only one option, Ingenuity Utility Belt, with as many percentages as you can possibly master with the corruption. And then we end up on the rings. Fat mana on a breach ring with some lightning damage, some intelligence, and some elemental resistances, cause at least that's how I do it. I'm quite lazy with that, so I offload all of the resistances on my rings. The better the gear, the more value Dream Frag gets. Dream Frag is of course one of the best possible rings for us, but first of all, my helmet is just here to have 2 sockets. Perfect helmet is not even this base, but you can say same stats even, but what you need instead the max life and the ES, you just need higher rolls of pure ES, because if you have 450 ES, that just translates 1-to-1 to mana, and the percentage gain to mana that the Dream Frag provides you is just way better if you have more flat mana. And now it comes for Amulet, where many people get confused. 78 to max ES, this is another part of just maximum mana. 78 maximum mana, 145 maximum mana, 12% maximum mana, 3 to level of all spell skills, and critical damage, and some strength. What's the most important? To have better base than this, but, well, most important is spell skills, up to 3, better than projectiles, period, but if you cannot get this all spells, projectile is gonna be fine. The 10% increased maximum mana roll, because after putting 20 quality it will go to 12. You can always divine it if you have 9 instead 10, because it's in the range of the roll. But well, 150 mana after the catalyst, and strength, you know, we go to our body armor with the strength notion. We will need 51 dex, 51 strength on passives to equip warrior. So basically having 28 strength here can translate to intelligence that you can free out of the passives. And once you equip the warrior, the one that we need to equip, which is attributes and maximum mana, well, then you can probably free a couple of more of them, like I did. And why do we get attributes? Well, int equals mana equals lightning damage, and this is why I tried to have on every item possible some intelligence, so this attribute stack gets the real value. This is why I have spaghettification, which gives you 7% to all attributes, and I also have Against Darkness Diamond in my passives, but we're gonna show that on the passive part, which gives me 4 per the node, and that node is in the range, so it's 7% all attributes and 4% intelligence. This is why I got 815 int. And I also got Megalomaniac that allocates Polymath for me, which is another 10% to all attributes. Melting Maelstrom Ultimate Mana Flask, as I always say in every guide for this. Most important item, I swear to god, the game changer. This is like a cheat in a nutshell for our build. 9k HP pull out of the mana, 1 click, full mana back. We are immune to chaos damage, so no negative out of it. Pure joy, pure importance to the build. Saves you 10 out of 10 times, frozen, stunned, whatever, you can press flask anyway. As long as you don't get one-shotted and you manage to press your flask, you should be fine. And for the gloves, we just get as not even this base, because we need expert intricate, but as much ES as we can for the ES gain, which is 1-to-1 mana, remember. As much mana roll as we can get, as much critical damage bonus roll we can get, some intelligence, and we probably gotta get some resistances to fix the resistances. Don't be like me. Don't do this with your resistances, because I get really annoyed with it. But I really CBA farming any more currency to fix the resistances, because if you look on the boots, I could get way more fire here to cap it up, get cold instead the stun threshold, but I really wanted to have full ES boots with nice mana, nice int, any of the resistances, and oh boy, the journey to 2 sockets on it was way harder than I anticipated, so I just gave up on the boots. I got the 2 sockets on these, and I'm happy. And it's time for the skills, and time to explain why do I use so many. Well, I just love to have every slot filled with a useful skill. I don't want to run around only with Spark, although I could, no problem. If you want to do that, go on. But I want every bar to be filled, and we go around Spark first. Arcane Tempo, I often swap to Ambush, cause yeah, there's just very little difference I ever feel of swapping this, and I really like it on Orb of Storm, so it zaps on its own faster. I have considered casting, of course, Lightning Mastery for the ranks. I'm on 35, so I get the extra projectile, big DPS gain here from that one rank. Acceleration and Pierce, because those are just 2 best thingies for it, no much to be said about it. And Orb of Storm, this is my debuff, this is the thing I put on the ground before the boss is even possible to be damaged. And then it will automatically zap the boss, then I can just press conduit without any further redo, and the boss is dead. If it's 6 man, I probably don't even have to buff myself anymore because I got many upgrades. But well, 6 man or not, the boss is one-shotted if you press all the buttons we have on the bars. No question asked. No aura, no nothing, they can stay out of the boss, not buff you, the boss is dead. And probably 3 times over. So we go Lightning Exposure, Arcane, I mean this is just completely flexible slot, yeah, whatever you wanna fit here. Overabundance, Overcharge, and Strip Away. This is the boss killer. What you do when you go to the boss, you take away from Spark, those 2, you put to Conduit. Why? Because Spark's useless on a boss. Like, I don't even press Spark on boss, I press this once, boss dead. This is how I love it. Next, Skeletal Cleric, Soul Offering combo. To buff our damage, it's way better than Mana Tempest, and it's of course on the weapon swap. Weapon set 2 for clerics, you set it here, you set also Soul Offering cast here, and whenever I wanna kill boss, what I do is simply Sigil, I eat the skeletons, I will put the curse on the boss. The boss is most bosses you can't even damage yet, so we have all the debuffs. We're gonna apply exposure with Orb of Storm instantly, and if you really wanna just flex in front of friends how hard you're gonna hit the boss, you throw Eye of the Winter, which has Unleash on it, debuffs the boss for 10 critical strike chance on the boss, and then you put Voltaic Mark to max out on the 100 magnitude, and well, the boss is fucking cooked. And of course, you got more currency than I do, you can automate all of that shit with just Custom Shock. You're just simply gonna put Lightning Conduit in Custom Shock, and you're not gonna put this one. This is the only difference. This will not work in Custom Shock. You will also like swap the Spark stuff to it, and that's pretty much it. Like, you just cannot use this support gem, so that would be Custom Shock. Here would be the Lightning Conduit, and the rest of the support gems we swapped from before. But why would currency matter for this? Well, because with currency you can get a proper amulet with 200 plus maximum mana, which will be the same as this one with the plus ES, but it will have 15 implicit spirit. I mean, with the implicit and the normal roll combo being 60, so you can get the extra 60 spirit for that Custom Shock. Next, very important, Archmage, Spirit Gem level 20. You corrupted before for +1, you don't need any links here. You're usually only gonna put Clarity if anything ever, but what's important is to corrupt it and use Spirit level Gem 20, so we have the 21 level on it, because that's the breakdown when we hit the 9% instead 8% gain, which is huge. Don't forget to quality it up though. And here we go with the Conductivity, important boss killer tool, 95% plus 39, 76. With our exposure that gives us 74, we get minus 150 lightning, which removes all the lightning resistance from the boss, then debuffs the boss on minus 75, which is damage taken by the target, and damage taken by the target is always better than damage you do. And that fact is why Stormweaver is so powerful, but we're gonna go over it very soon, right after the skills. But what we need here is of course increase the effect. We need the ground effect, because it's only on the boss, like, you never gotta bother to like curse, you never curse like minions on maps, bro, you don't fucking have to, trust me, unless you just started and your gear is completely awful, then yeah, but don't bother, I think will be way better if you just cast Spark one more time. But well, we need Cursed Ground, we need Spell Echo, and we need Burning Inscription. And that's because the first one will disappear and leave the Burning Ground, which will ignite the boss, which will give us extra damage due to our passives. And Voltaic Mark, very overlooked and underappreciated ability that is one of the most insane tools that a Stormweaver with Spark and any lightning build for that matter can get. It greatly increases the shock effect on the target, and those are multiplicative. So that's how you get easy hundreds of magnitude for your lightning conduit. Only for some reason works for one of our shocks, but it's enough because that is that one shock that we need for lightning conduit. And Eye of the Winter, we of course only need Unleash on it, and you can always like put some extra projectiles, chance to shock, whatever. It will work, like Cold ability can shock because it has lightning damage from Archmage. And well, just because before anyone asks me, those two, you can pause and check, they are completely irrelevant placeholders. So don't bother what's on the Voltaic Mark, please, it does not matter. What matters is to quality that and press on the boss. And you're gonna enjoy the effects, they are amazing. But back to Eye of Winter, it debuffs, that debuff is on the target, aka the strongest damage you can get ever is debuffing the target, and that basically adds to our base. And our base, what I mean, is base critical strike chance. So Lightning Conduit has 10, you debuff the boss, well, then Lightning Conduit has 20. So it's very easy to reach 100% crit chance on the boss with it. And Unleash makes it like 10 stacks insta because of Unleash. Look how many projectiles with Unleash, beautiful. Especially when Wild Shots decides to proc, well, just look. Insta 10. And well, that covers our skills. Let's go over Ascendency points. So, first of all, we always have Arcane Surge, and Arcane Surge is 10 cast speed, 20 mana regen. Then, we have Force of Will, 1% increased effect of Arcane Surge per 15 maximum mana. This is why we don't need cast speed. We have so much cast speed granted by this that we can only focus on the mana. Unless you just want to fake your tooltip to look like, oh, I have the biggest DPS on the Stormweaver, look at that, 20 mil. Doesn't matter, I do average 10k. 20 mil DPS because I cast it 100 times a second. Yeah, imagine if you didn't do them though. But then we go Double Shock, without a doubt, one of the most broken Ascendancy points. I like double 75. If Voltaic Mark worked properly and increased both the shocks, you have a double 100 increase on the target. Like, what else do we discuss here? It's like all enough said. And here, Exposure, you inflict, lowers the affected resistance by an additional 20. That adds to base. So if you then have like a 100 exposure increase, instead of getting 20 plus 120, you will get 40 plus 100. And well, if you know anything about mathematics, you already know how broken this is. So this... yeah, this is a meme. If you see anyone going here, here and here, this is just to fake the tooltip. Don't fucking do this. You are not getting value. Trust me, this is garbage. No matter what you wanna do with it, Temporalis, it's never gonna be good. I tried everything to make it work. It's just bad. And quickly about passives, because, well, I will just put mobalytics to copy them, there's quite some points. But in general, you will have every single jewel I use. The newest addition to the build is the juicy, expensive, like nothing else in my... This is more than my whole build. And probably double or triple the price. Just saying. So, like, I saved a lot for it. And I'm happy with the results. If anyone wonders, well, we have... Let's put the Arcane Tempo. So we have 1.61k, yeah? We remove it, we remove this rank to update it, 755, we put it back, remove rank to update it, 300k DPS found in a single jewel socket. What else to say? Of course, this is so expensive for most of you, unless pure, sheer, dumb luck, impossible to obtain. But instead, you can opt out to get, and I mean you should 100p because it's just changing a lot as well, one of the best things. Recover 2% mana on kill, even times 2, times 3. Like, I think up to 8% is like where you could chill down on it, but 8%, 2%, just get at least 2%. This is lovely. You will love that jewel. What we have here as well is Polymathy with Moment of Truth. Big thing for me, because I wanted Polymathy for the Atri stack, and I managed to get one with Moment of Truth, which is just not just Polymathy on Megalomaniac, basically. I have something useful on it as well for my build. It's like crit damage, crit hit chance, all I wanna see. And it's very important thing I wanna show you now. We drop down here for Frazzled, for the magnitude of shock check, and first of all, most important of all, let me get to Doriani. Ref on the passives. Look, there is nothing that I will just get now for the damage you will see on the tooltip that will outvalue this. It's not even close. But let me just show you this real quick. We will remove that with the intelligence as well, and more magnitude of shock we're gonna remove. So look, we just lost a bit int, so we lost 1k DPS, yeah? And look, I can put it here. Oh, look at the DPS gain. And for example, I can put into some crit hit chance. Oh, look at the tooltip. Or even better, something that you could never feel, which is cast speed. Oh, look how much DPS we're getting. And even funnier shit about cast speed, how irrelevant it is. I have this one here. Look, average damage 1.114. Look, DPS increase, but look what happens to our damage done. So, if you want to tickle the pickle, you do cast speed and mana regen. If you want big giga shot damage, you don't do this garbage. Very simple. And well, what is very important is for you to remember to go back to good passives, not the ones that make you feel better about the DPS, because if you feel better about the DPS, it does not mean, and usually never will, that the DPS will be actually better. You will only think it's good, but it will not be good. And it's undeniable. You cannot compare damage you do versus making the target take more damage. You just cannot compare it. In all of the games so far I experienced, ARPGs, target debuffs are better than your buffs for damage, period. And this is also a reason why Stormweaver is so powerful. We have 2 shocks, we have Giga exposure, Giga easy access to another the debuff to the lightning via conductivity. Well, we also use Storm Charged with this beautiful Metamorphosis Diamond, which is way cheaper than the massive garbage that people are using for this shit. And we just use Whispers of Atonement. If you have corrupted 5% int here, you could use Resonance, you could use Mind over Matter. Eldritch Battery even, depends on your budget. But well, this is plus minus what I use on the normal jewels now. Some crit hit chance, crit damage, magnitude. And well, that's gonna be a common theme. Spell damage once I hit the checks of crit, hit chance, and magnitude of shock / ailments. And about that, I'm gonna show you very soon. Just let me finish about the passives. I'm gonna show you what checks you need to reach to get 100 magnitude of the shock, and how much crit you need to make it like enough crit. For the crit hit chance, of course. Crit damage, never enough. Well, to be fair, there is not much really to be said about the passives. Just go to mobalytics and follow it. Green is for weapon set 2, aka the debuffer, so it's some duration. And the red is for, of course, weapon set 1, big damage. The rest is the main thingy. So, if you ever see people just going for the jewels, they got adorned. Do I recommend adorned? Fuck no. If you have too much currency, go for it. But if you have really too much currency, because you need double 20 crit damage on several of them, plus intelligence corruption, and then you need like 2% mana somewhere. Nah, it's just so expensive, so much fucking around. Just don't. Like, I actually recommend you don't use adorned. It's just so much fucking around with it to make it work. And well, the moment I level up, overexposure comes back. I just really kinda CBA messing with it now. But well, overexposure is the level 99 talent, I'd say. Unless you don't have the jewel for spark skills, then you free up so many here for a crit chance if you don't meet the requirement, or whatever else. But yeah, if you don't have, like, I went here only for the jewel socket. So you have so many free here that you can put overexposure easily. And remember, in my budget build, and I still had more than 1 HP, still had energy shield, and less than half of that mana, 1/3 of that mana, I already was one-shotting the bosses with this build, with the weaker variation of it. So just imagine how it looks like for me now. So for the magnitude of shock, what you need, with voltaic mark included, qualityed up voltaic mark, you need altogether shock / all ailments, depends what you get on the jewels, you need altogether 245% to cap for the full conduit increase and just for the best overall effect of it. 245 is 100 shock debuff, the first one. All excess goes to the other. I mean, this feels like all excess, like goes to the one that's not affected, but I'm not entirely sure about it. But what's the most important is the first one that gets consumed by the conduit. And that's 245% magnitude of shock altogether that you need to max it out. And for our critical hit chance, you only need 400% altogether to guarantee yourself that conduit always crits whenever you Eye of the Winter. Because that's gonna be 50%, and since Eye of the Winter adds the base 10, you're gonna have simple 100%, and we don't use super critical as before, so that makes it very, very simple to max out the crit. You can get more, but well, 400 is the sweet point, 500 is also the sweet point, like that, like 400, 550 even, is just the best, because you just should have one with 100 plus, same for focus, and that's already so much crit gain. You just get a couple of more from passives, and we are sorted on that. So 400 to 550, and rest we go heavily into getting as much critical damage as we can. And for maps, when it's not a boss, we put ambush if we want to, up to you. You can keep arcane tempo on the spark, so that's another 9% added on full HP. So, well, I will show you after all the theory. I'm gonna show you how it looks like, and I'm gonna show you with the least cast speed. And right before I show you anything that this build is capable of, well, say hi to the newest addition to the build, one of the temporalis parts, Trample Toe. I actually really didn't realize how OP this shit is for our build. If you like Arc, this fixes your issues with Arc being slow. This is so much more broken than I ever thought. I got so surprised about how broken this item is. The only issue with it is movement speed. So I hope they change one day that you can get more movement speed outside of the boots or just on those themselves. But well, if that does not bother you to get the movement speed a bit lower with less mana, well, let me just go find a good bridge map and show you why this shit is just pure broken. After taking time to set up my precursor tablets, that's what I ended up with. Breach open and close 32 faster, and we also get 50 increased monster density, 60 increased number of rare monsters, and the rarity is irrelevant. And since Savannah is amazing for Breach, at first I wanted to use this Waystone, but there's no debuffs, no real challenge, it's just pure looting. So I decided to sacrifice this one particular map node to use this one. We have increased amount of monsters, so the build can shine, but we have 75 more monster life and 50 monster elemental resistances, so they are way more tanky. So let's take a look how it looks like with my build. And a quick heads up, since we Trample Toe, we don't really need Pierce, because the first mob that gets damaged destroys everything. You're gonna see. We swap to Lightning Penetration. No matter if you have the debuff on the Waystones like I do for monster resistances, it's just better than Pierce at that point. And we swap Arcane Tempo for Ambush. It won't give you the DPS dopamine rush from like having it higher, but it will definitely do the job in terms of one touch, one mob dead, and the rest done the overkill. I decided to run the whole map on the video, it's gonna be at the end anyway, so people can skip. So you can clearly see how it looks like. I'm gonna open them up so you can all see the debuffs if they change once we in. And since I already one-shotted all the bosses in my budget gear a long time ago, I'm gonna just skip the pinnacle bosses, but well, if you want you can come stream, you can watch my VODs from stream. There's plenty of full party bosses attempts that I just went there to scale them up, so I can have some fun one-shotting them. But well, how it looks inside the map. We have 315 increased number of rare monsters. Wow, I didn't see that before. It went very high on that. I think it got increased with the double tablet from our Atlas. 192 increased monster density. I just love that already. 71 monster elemental resistance and 106 monster life. Let's see how it translates to how it actually feels like. They're actually surviving a hit. It's crazy. Well, let's use our secret weapon then, called Soul of a Ring. And yeah. I'm very laggy on that map, I was really worried about it. And yeah, it seems like I can't really do much about it. See, no need to cast more. We can always drop Orb of Storm on our feet. So everything gets killed while we get stunned, if we do get stunned. I'll just keep my normal boots instead, trample toes, since it's the real like my full build, but this is fine. I just wanted the most mobs to be tanky, so all I need to do is crit. I would even honestly rework a bit my passives to get more crit, but it's fine. Nasty ass shrines. Just give me the breach. Because look, there's just nothing much to do other than looking on my FPS, not getting drastically low. But that's inevitable on the breach, either I like it or not. It's actually very nice that the monsters have like this HP increase, because this is like literally wasted for no reason, just so they have resistances. I was looking for one quite some time now. And we have resistances and the life, so that, like, if you run this Waystone with a cast speed build like most people do, you ain't killing shit. I even wanted to make like a copy of it, but I didn't really want to do some budget style build to compare. But I can guarantee you, you're not gonna have a nice time. You're just gonna be constantly walking full spam casting, because you're gonna be afraid, because you're gonna be tickling those monsters. Trust me, because I saw how people struggle by playing the cast speed. And mainly because how expensive it is, because everyone wants cast speed. Nah, don't do this. Oh, trample toes, the only issue, I swear, this slow. If you have temporalis, you can check my VODs as well on live stream. I was playing with cast on dodge spark, 2 sparks, with 2 mana jewel, 2% mana return for kill. And it works very well with this. I was just dying by standing in fire and blinking in the wall, so yeah. Remember, unique mana flask fixes all the issues you could possibly have with survival. Here goes the breach. Because we can just like cast in like general direction of the enemies here. They will all flop around due to the trample toes. Pretty easy. Wish I got like multiple ones. What was that? I wasn't looking on my mana and I nearly died because of it. But that's pure me, just looking on the FPS instead. Looking where it went away. Or some aura with like temporal immunity, god knows really. What is this Kossis? Like he sends damage on me, but I don't see him at all. Yeah, I would be playing Trample Toe more. I just wanted to showcase it, but you see, like, it's so it's dramatic. The slow is just... Wish we had like more sources of movement speed, but the best you can do is 35 movement speed on boots. 5 maybe corruption if you're lucky. Spaghetti, and there's like... That's it. The rest is waste. Huh? What happened? I stopped my own lightning conduit. Well, gotta kill him by pressing Spark, I guess. Well, I didn't pre-buff or anything, yeah, but that's only because you don't really have to. No Eye of the Winter, no nothing. mean, soul offering on its own, like, can fix a lot of issues, and our weapons set to have a lot of duration, so feel free to just buff yourself. Where are these guys? Always, whenever I get like open open map like Savannah, I only get one breach, no matter if I stack or no, for more breach chance. Here we go. Oh, let me just fully pumped up here. One cast. Where is that rare? Oh, here. Well. Oh, Cosis, I found you. You found me. You ported on me. Well, I will try to find one more breach without just annoying you by length of the video. I'm just gonna show it again. Just the differences. We're gonna check it on this waystone, which is way easier. Okay, I found this willow with high rarity, and sadly we only have monster density, no extra rare monsters, but it doesn't matter. Let's just see her on the breach. 472 rarity, 70 faster, open and close for breach, 125 density there, 186 number of rare monsters after all. That waystone was really good to have, not gonna lie. We have max level on enemies nearly, outside of the tier 16, but well, I was already corrupted. And well, just watch what happens when monsters are not buffed. Not gonna lie, but before I even find the breach, I just remind myself how silly this is. Oh, he actually survived a hit. He didn't. Those trees are so annoying actually. Oh, there's the breach. Good time to start record. Okay, without further ado, I'm not even buffing, because you will see. Oh, I'm so stuck in here, what the fuck is going on? Those trees, man. How do I enter there? So many spawned. Whoa, what even happened to the game? No, it lagged out. This was so sad. Oh, lightning conduit. Finally, I get a good open map. Semi-good, because those trees are quite annoying to be fair. But I have more than one breach. Let's enjoy the game now. Maybe they won't spawn in the boss room. It's actually so annoying how my spark just gets completely fucked by the tree. Okay, this map's actually not the greatest for this. Oh, we just cast a spark here, look, and the game lags out. It's quite annoying actually on Willow with these trees. I thought it's gonna be a good idea, but nah. I decided to slightly change the approach so the fog goes away from the delirium and you can see stuff. So I crafted a random tier 16, I don't even know what's on it, and that's what we're gonna run on sun speed, and that probably gonna clear out everything possible. But let's take a look what we have here. Some extra damage on monsters, more monsters all around nearly. Well, let's see how it goes. To be fair, after so many maps with delirium, what a relief I don't have this fog here. Let's see what we ended up on. 200 rarity, which is irrelevant, 32 pack size. Just imagine if I could get that from 24 there from delirium and not have the fog. Wow, how amazing it would be. But everything looks pretty decent, so like I'm gonna do half of it in trample toe and I'm gonna swap to normal boots so you can see difference. It's so much easier to see, so much better FPS as well. I swapped to like usual support gem so I don't have to do it like any other swap than the boots. But yeah, level 81 monsters. Yeah. That's why I really like it. Just open map is better. But they were dying like from so much range. Boom. That's why cast speed is really not, it's still flat. I think my PC is just giving up slowly after the fog gameplay. That's why whoever tells you that cast speed is so important just doesn't know how to do damage, I guess. Who needs the cast? Like, look, I swapped to tempo, so I still have 2.82. And I could have more with passives. Like, simply going from this away to this instantly gives you 3%, 6%. You can 9, you can undo this one and connect via this to here. So you could get 9%. And how much DPS it is per node? From 980 to 1.6. Crazy. Cast speed. But 3% how you can feel. You won't ever feel it really. But yeah, let's swap to my normal boots. Because I'm way too slow. 9. Oh, it feels so bad. Oh, we got cast speed by the way from mana now. Now it's... let me crit something. Did I? 2.7 casts. So you can swap the penetration. I will actually just to show you real quick. Instantly 1.69k DPS. We have 293 before getting the crit. Because remember, extra 8% from here. And well, just let me show you the difference. Why I say that above 3.1 you don't really need much more. The difference is gonna be instantly felt from like the movement part. Like tapping your spark. But above that, it really doesn't make difference anymore. Just perfectly timed up. We have breach. We swapped to non, like we have normal boots, not the trample toe, no fog, so we can see everything. And the most normal build that I recommend with the 3.1 cast speed, which goes from here. Arcane tempo. We have 293 casts. I'm gonna send some spicy damage for fun, so I can like look on the tooltip. And we have 3.1 once we crit. Now you have the freedom of movement that you need. 3.2 was 3.25 actually was my sweetest spot, but I really can get asked more to swap around everything all the time to match the point increments, so let's try to catch up with them from the other side, maybe we get some more kills. And yeah, basically one cast per map and it should be enough. One cast. I mean, maybe not on bridge to be fair with that density. I don't wanna die after getting pinned. But we can just walk forward, tap, walk forward, tap. And that's like also one of our biggest defensives with this build. If you precast Spark in whatever direction you go, this is the safest you are. And this is the 3.25 breakdown that I mean for the walk and cast. But if you just tap with this amount of cast speed, you should be like freely moving anyway. But honestly, give trample toe some movement speed. What's wrong with you? Proximal, okay. Here you go. Cast. Cast. Or even more funny thing, I will show you one more thing that I really like, since I have so much ranks. I like Unleash. Look. This guarantees you a single cast needed because of the amount of projectiles you have. Because Arcane, like I really rarely play, like I prefer Ambush way more for the crit chance. And well, Unleash, just look how it covers the ground. But the best is if you tune in the live stream, ask any questions, and that's pretty much it from me for now. So I hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and as always, see you on the next one.